All right. All right. Hello, everybody. This is Jacob Sapochnick and Marie Portolano from the Sapochnick Law Firm, and we are doing our weekly update. We have been away for a few weeks because of the H-1B rush season, and we are now back to update you on recent immigration changes. And those that are joining right now, just post where you're from and if you can hear us well. I want to make sure the audio is good. And we're going to be covering some updated topics and also going through some changes. And as always, we'll be answering your questions. So I'm getting messages also on my phone and everything. So let's get to it. How did you survive the H-1B season, first of all, Marie?
Barely.
It was
Barely.
tough, right?
It was a very stressful season. A lot of changes.
Right.
But we sent all our case and now it's done. H-1B, there's no more H-1Bs available, so.
Right. So there's no more H-1B visas available. The cap has been met properly, and we started receiving receipt notices from UCIS as well for cases that we filed. First, the notices that we're getting are the master's cap, and I think we got all our master's cap, right? We got all the master's cap.
Well, I hope not. All our premium processing, we have 100% were selected. So you have a choice to choose premium processing. For our client who chose premium processing, 100% were selected. So that's a great news for them. For the master cap without premium processing, we don't have everything back yet. Usually we have 80% selection, 80%.
So we're still waiting. Okay, so let's run through the updates first, and then we'll leave the space for people to ask questions, and then even after the live stream, if you want to ask questions, you can post them in the comments, and we'll get back. We'll come back and answer them. So H-1B cap, we'll start receiving receipts for masters, and also next year, as you know, there's going to be a whole new H-1B process with an online registration. So this is the last year of the traditional process. So we'll see what happens next year. And again, those people that filed this year, hopefully you'll get it because it's definitely going to be more. We think it's going to be a little bit different next year.
And we always told our clients to ask their employer to check if the check was cashed. Once the check is cashed for the H-1B, it means you won the lottery. Then it might take 2-3 weeks to get the receipt notice, but that's the first thing that will.
All right, so let's move on to some of the changes. One of the main changes that we've seen is that they are going to cancel the InfoPass. So right now, if you want to make an inquiry on your case, or you want to know what's going on with your file, you can go online, make an InfoPass appointment, and then you can check on your case. So why don't you talk about those changes and why they're happening?
So soon, you will not, and us, we will not be able to schedule directly an InfoPass. Right now, you just go on your computer and you just try to find an appointment. By the end of the year, you're going to have to call immigration, the 800 numbers, talk to the officer about your problem. If the officer decides it's worse than InfoPass, then the officer on the phone will schedule you for an InfoPass appointment. They had a very interesting conference teleconference on February 14, where they explained they want to limit as much as possible people coming in for an InfoPass. They are tired of seeing too many people. I think they have more than 20,000 inquiries per day on site. So they want to limit it for stuff such as extending your 751 receipt notice, extending your I-90, get the I-551 stamp, and for the polling place, because you need the I-94, for stuff that needs really to be on site. If you just need an update about your case, you can go online at the USCIS website, and they want everyone to use bothering them on site at their field office.
Right. So again, this is we'll have to see how that thing is going to work, but we've been used to the InfoPass system for years now, and I just we can just make an online appointment and go down to the local office and get information about our cases, and people could do it without a lawyer as well. And now it's going to be kind of like a discretion of the officer if they can do it. So again, for people that are joining us right now, this is our live weekly show where we ask an immigration lawyer, where you can ask questions and we'll answer. We also update you on the most updated information on immigration. So this is your chance to ask questions and get some updates about some recent changes we just talked about. For those of you who are joining us right now, we talked about the H-1B filing season, that cases were filed. H-1B visas are no longer available. We received our first receipts recently as well. We have quite a few master cases that were selected. And the second thing we talked about is that they're going to eliminate the InfoPass system. So those of you that want to inquire about your cases are no longer going to be able to do it unless you call the office, the immigration office, and get the officer to convince them to get you an InfoPass. For those of you that are joining us right now, I see a bunch of people coming in. Let us know where you're from. Just post your city, your country, and let us know where you're tuning in. We would love to see many of you right here. I don't see everything here, but we see Atek has a question, and we have, let's see here. We have all these Rocio and Baharat and Kartik. So yeah, post your questions. We'll answer them. Ignore. We answer them in a few minutes after we're done with our updates. We're going to answer all your questions. We promise we're going to go through all these questions. So we have Imelda from Texas, and make sure you put some hearts and likes in the comments. And we welcome to the show. So the second update is the medical exam. So the medical exam is valid for 6 months, right? And what are some of the changes that are happening with the? 2 years. So it's going to be valid for 2 years now.
No, it's been the medical exam. Any green card application, you need to do shots, so you need to go a medical exam. It's now valid for 2 years from the day the doctor signed the form, and the form must be signed 60 days maximum before you file your green card case. So in our office, we chose a policy: we do not send any more medical exam with a green card package. We wait to get the courtesy notice, and then the person does their medical at this point, which is usually around 30 to 60 days before the interview. This is our office policy because it's been very difficult. We don't know when it eventually expires, so it's better we don't send it at all. You just wait to get your courtesy notice, and then you do your medical at this point, which is 60 days before interview usually. And many people are afraid it's going to delay their cases not to send a medical exam. This is not true. We do it. We have no problem of delays. So we advise to, you can, if you want, not submit your medical exam and just wait just a few weeks before interview.
Right, because it's so, the expiration is so short. We want to make sure that you don't have to do it multiple times.
It's a waste of time and money.
Yeah, so welcome to Rocio, to Letty. Nice to see you. Samanil. Let us know where you're from. So Shahid is there. What country you're from, what city, and put your hearts and likes in there. Perfect. So the next update is the new I-539 form. It's already effective. This form is used to change your status, extend your tourist visa, change from a tourist to a student or anything else. So this form has been updated. And what are some main updates that you notice?
So there's a new form. So the new form, you can only use this form now. And they added $85 biometric fee. So now if you want to extend your status or change your status, even if it's just a mere tourist visa, you're going to have to be fingerprinted. Even children have to be fingerprinted. Even if you have your child, you're 2 years old, you're going to have to go to the field office, get fingerprinted. We expect it's going to impact more than 250,000 people a year, so it's like 250,000 people are gonna have to be fingerprinted. This $85 fees is gonna bring around $30 million to immigration, additional revenue every year, but because of all this fingerprinting. And they think that by doing this fingerprinting, they're gonna make better security, making sure that the people who want to stay in America or change their status are not criminal, because you do your fingerprints, it means the FBI is gonna check your background check, and if you have criminal record, then, well, we don't know how they're gonna do it yet because it started March 22nd.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe they would start removal proceedings.
So it's definitely a more invasive process. Before we just file the form and either you get an extension or not. Now you actually have to go and get your biometrics, and so it's definitely going to be it's different, like everything else in this process. And finally, they will be canceling the EAD work authorization for H4 spouses, so spouses of H1 who are now able to work. If their H1 spouses are going through a green card process, they can particularly file for their EADs. That's going to be canceled. We think it's going to happen sometime by summertime, which is pretty sad that they're doing this, but it's happening. So what do you have? Do you want to say anything about this?
Well, the process here in America for H1B, while waiting for usually a green card, you can, for example, Indian nationals, you can wait 8 to 10 years here in America to get your green card. So in the meantime, your spouse is not allowed to work by law. So this regulation from 2015, I think, allowed the spouse to work, because you will 8-10 years without working. It's a huge waiting time. So there's around 100,000 people who have work permits, and the Trump administration would like to cancel all these work permits. We don't know if they're going to cancel all existing work permits or let them expire and don't allow to renew. If your work permit and your H4 and your work permit expires by the end of the year, start renewing immediately. As soon as you're the 180 days, I would just submit your I-765.
Right. So at least, try to do one last effort to renew it before they cancel it. But it's definitely a bad sign that they're doing it. All right. So now these are the main updates. So like I said, we covered the H-1B season. We talked about InfoPass cancellation, the new I-539 form, and H4 cancellation. So right now, let's get down to your questions. So right now, we're going to answer your questions. Once again, let us know where you're from. And we have Shibeshi here. Here we go, Shibeshi. How are you? Mila is there. Maritza, Roshio, Atek, Michael. Okay, Perla has a question. Can a lawyer check with immigration if the person has a clean record?
FOIA.
So the lawyers can do two things. We can do a FOIA request to find out the person's immigration information, and in that we can find if there was any deportations or things like that. So that is yes. And also we can help do FBI record check, and so help clients find out about their criminal stuff. So yes, we can definitely help with that. Clyde is asking, thanks for your help. You're welcome for watching. Atek has a question. What is your question? Baharat, I am a hairdresser. Tell me what is the process for visa. Currently I am in New Zealand. So hairdressers particularly have to start their own business. So either you come here as a trainee on the J1, or you can start your own hairdressing company under the E2. And New Zealand is going to have an E2 coming up soon. Hopefully, yeah. So yeah, E2 or J1 these are pretty much the main options for hairdresser. Karthik, hello Karthik. He was released on parole from Otay Mesa, and he's transferred to San Francisco. The EAD clock has been stopped, but previously it's been 67 days. Now it's paused. My hearing was on August 8th. Is there any way to start the EAD clock again? What do you think? It's probably
I don't understand why they stopped your clock. So we need to see more about your case.
Yeah,
I don't understand why they stopped the clock.
Yeah, Karthik, that doesn't make sense, kind of what's happening here. Why don't you just send us a private message, and me and Marie will respond to you. Because it's a very particular question. We want to answer questions that are specific to everybody. And by the way, this is a good point to let you know, a disclaimer, that we are both immigration lawyers, but we're not your lawyers. And so whatever we say here is for general information only. We provide it as a courtesy service to our Facebook followers and everybody who's watching this. But we are not your lawyers, so we don't give you legal advice. We just provide general information. So Karthik, if you want specific information, you have to send us a private message and set up an appointment to speak with us. Imelda is from Texas. Perla is from Singapore. Hey, so I was just there close by a few weeks ago. I was in Hong Kong. Nogran my name is Nogran. Welcome, Rosio. My husband applied for her 20 September 2017. He is a green card holder. How many days you need to get approved? Well, Rosio, first of all, it depends where you're from. So there's a visa bulletin, and green card holders have a particular weight. It's F2A, and you have to go there to the visa bulletin and look at the F2A category for your country and put that date. Right now, we estimate about 2 years average. Once again, hello Letty, hello Belgoum, Mo, JM1 to H1B. Answer question. How?
Too late.
Well, there's no H1B visas anymore, but it is possible to switch from a J1 to the H1B.
Right now, the only way to switch to H1B is if you're CAP exam, so if you go to a university or...
Yes. Ignacio is from Massachusetts. Hello. Atek. I am from Afghanistan. We are expecting a baby on July. Congratulations. I want to ask my mother to help us. How can I do that? So you're a U.S. citizen, you can easily do that. If you're not a U.S. citizen, you can invite her as a tourist to visit. Charles, hello. Melina, hi, Melina. Semani says, how much do I need to file for a green card through a marriage?
$1,760.
It's the filing fee is $1,760, and if you want to know our cost, just send us a private message, and we'll share that information with you happily. Mr. Chong, if someone calls ICE to report an illegal immigrant and does it without concealing their name, would the illegal immigrant find out who reported them?
No.
Typically, first of all, there are two things. First of all, even if you call ICE, it doesn't mean they're going to act on it, right? But even if they do, they're never going to release the information of whoever reported. So don't worry. Yeah, but don't be a reporter. Just kidding. How can I apply for a visitor visa? Shazid. For a visitor visa, you have to go to the U.S. Embassy's website, make an appointment. You can do it online using Form DS-160, and depends what country you're from. That will be an easy process to follow.
Be careful to show a lot of ties to your home country. They want to be sure you're coming back home and you're just visiting. So a lot of ties.
Correct.
House, loans, property, everything.
Yusuf, look, I'm just asking if I'm an Egyptian citizen, can apply for a work visa, but also I'm still a college student. How can I just lessen on that? How can I start? Tell me the easy way, the cheap way.
There's no easy way.
That's a long question, but the first step is to decide why you want to come to the U.S. So if you want to come as a visitor, you apply for a tourist visa. If you want to somebody as young as you are, my recommendation is to become a student. Apply for a student visa, and it's easy. Nice to meet you again, Magabu. Nice to meet you too, Ahmed. A lot of familiar names. Perla. Let's see. My administrative process has been going on for nearly 10 years. This is Ahmed. Well, there are many ways to inquire. If you have an attorney, they have ways to do it. If you don't have an attorney, there are other things you can do by writing to the congressman. It's a process.
10 years.
10 years is a long time. You definitely need somebody to help you. So send us a private message, please. Maritza is from San Francisco. Welcome. Shahid.
We live twice with A6.
What? Did I miss somebody?
Loma.
Oh, Loma. I'm sorry. What if a tourist visa is expired? If you're here with an expired tourist visa and it's less than 6 months, you can still leave without penalties. If you overstayed more than 6 months, you're going to be barred for 3 years. If you stayed more than a year, it's going to be 10 years. So we don't recommend to overstay. Pankaj, hey Jacob, what's going on Daca? What's the update on Daca? No update.
Still the same.
You can still renew
extend,
it, but no new ones. You can extend DACAs, but there's no new DACAs.
And no advance parole.
And no advance parole.
You cannot travel and come back. You
can't live.
Come back.
Yeah. Shahid, America needs to be safe. No, that's not nice, Perla. Be nice. Anybody who's on the chat, be courteous to the other members. We don't want people to be banned. Anna Isabella from Italy. I'm Italian, my fiance is in USA, and he is an American. Which options we start to get married? Perfect. Anna, please send us a private message. We can help you with that for sure. But the best way is to here first. You apply for a fiance visa, you get the fiance visa, and then you can come to the US. Or you can come here as a visitor, and there's a way to adjust your status from inside the US. But of course, there are risks with that as well. But one way or another, we can definitely help you. And Anna, just send us a private message, and we'll be happy to assist you. Now is the best time to get married. Norhan, that's a whole different live. That's a whole different Facebook live. And we'll do one on the benefits of marriage and Norhan Harb. Hey guys, already have my wives. I thought he said multiple wives. He says his one wife's green card. Would I be able to apply for a visitor visa? I am from India. Well, again, you may or may not. It's risky because they may think you're going to come here to stay. So, I don't know if it's going to happen. But you can try. Dazia, hello. Would it be a bad thing if my fiance submitted a K1 after just applying last year for the diversity visa lottery? No, it doesn't matter. He can apply for the lottery and apply for your fiance visa. They're totally different processes. And we encourage him to do that because the lottery is not guaranteed, the diversity. Anna, I live in Belgium at the moment. Perfect. I used to visit Belgium very often. But yeah, no problem. You can be anywhere in Europe, and that'll be a great process for you to do. I live in Minnesota. H1B? Okay. H1B approved in March. And April 10th, UCIS sent a request to revoke. Can I file an amendment now? I don't know. I don't think it makes sense if they already want to intend to revoke.
Well, you can file, but you need to get this one approved.
Yeah.
You need to
file a strong response to the intent.
Respond. You probably have only 30 days to answer, but you need to get this one approved because if you file an amendment, consular processing.
Yeah. So I would do that. We have so many questions. Abdullah is from Ghana. I had my interview in the consulate and it's been approved, and it's been 4 weeks now. I still haven't got my passport. The best thing to do in those cases is just follow up with the consulate. You can just go straight to the consulate and follow up, and they should give it. Again, any other... Okay, April, my brother petitioned his 2 illegitimate under 16. UCIA is asking additional evidence. What are the best evidence to submit? Okay. Again, this is a private. It's a specific question to your case. Please send us a private message and we'll respond because the people here they don't need to know the specifics of your case. But
as a general rule, so like pictures, a lot of pictures, showing he gives you money. It's about the kids because you need to show that was in the pictures for all the years that the kids was growing up. So we submit a lot of pictures in these kind of cases.
Jimmy is asking how much to file for 3 kids. Once again, this is a private message. Send us a message and we'll tell you specifically the prices. Mm-hmm. Laura, do you need to prove legal entry in order to file for marriage-based green card? Absolutely, Laura. That's a good question. So what she means by that, if you come here illegally, you cannot adjust your status in the U.S. You're going to have to go to the U.S. Embassy and file your case. So you do have to prove legal entry to get in here. Absolutely. Very good question. What else? We have Betty. Hey, Betty, I would like to call you to talk about my case. Absolutely, Betty. So this is the number. Can you type in 619 819 9204. This is our phone number. We put it here, 619-819-9204. You can call the office, set up an appointment. I'll be happy to talk to you about your case. Emmy. I am Emmy from the Philippines. Would like to know if a person who is Filipino by birth and been a U.S. citizen for 30 years, dual citizenship, would lose whatever benefits it's enjoying in the U.S. Medical? No. So the U.S. and so you're safe on that.
Be careful because you need some benefits in America. You need to be in America to receive them. So be careful.
That is correct.
You're not going to get everything.
But I think she's talking about canceling already existing benefits. But you cannot get benefits if you unless you establish.
Because they're not going to give you medical if you don't live in America.
No, that is true. Let's see. And again, if we don't answer any of those questions live, you can keep posting them. We'll try to get them. We'll try to get to them in the comments. All right, let's try to get another question.
Visa.
Okay, Pankaj, how's
file going so far for U visa?
Your visa is delayed like 4.5 years now, right? Or more. It's very difficult to get it. But again, if you qualify, there's a procedure to follow.
And there's only 5,000 visa a year, so right now the waiting time is 10 years.
Yeah, very difficult to get that. Any other question? Let's see. We have a lot of them here. Get through all of them. Okay. 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 How can you visit my parents and brothers living in New York with a green card? Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, the only way is try to get an E2 or a tourist visa if approved, but which is not easy. Which is not easy these days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, we are going to shut down the live in a few minutes. So last, we'll continue to answer those questions throughout the day, and we'll go back to the feed. Hopefully you found this live informative. What I want you to do is, if you can share it right now, so anybody who's watching it right now, just share it on your page, so your friends or people can see it as well and get the benefits. So if you can do us an amazing favor, just share it right now as you watch live, and you can send me a private DM right on our page. We have the messenger option. Just send me a question, post them here on the feed, and we'll continue to do those live. We're going to try to do them once a week if we can, and then of course if there's any breaking news, we'll do them as needed. And let us know what topics you want to hear. Yeah, we'll do a separate one just on that. Again, there's another update. Israel now has an E2 effective of May 1st. So Israelis are now able to file for investor visas. And I think we'll do a whole separate live just on that for Israelis. But just so you know, if you're Israeli and you're watching it, make sure you apply for the E2. All right, guys, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. And we will see you
next week
at our next stream. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Marie, for always being here. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.